Markets in Asia took a tumble on Monday amid fears that the US Federal Reserve could raise interest rates again at its next meeting next week. Japan's Nikkei fell by nearly 0.5% and Hong Kong's Hang Seng index dipped by 1.5% on investor jitters. They fear that low unemployment and other indicators of strong spending could either delay rate cuts or extend higher rates for longer. The caution comes as key data reflecting inflation is due out on Wednesday, and Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell's promise to steer rates given future data. Let's get more on this now with Han Tan in Abu Dhabi. He's Chief Market Analyst at Xinity Group. Han, thanks for joining us this morning. Now, investors are looking forward to a string of economic data out this week, most notably US inflation figures. What's your outlook on that?
Yeah, so I think we could see a mixed picture, right? So on one hand, you've got core CPI, that's inflation that strips out food and energy items. That core CPI is expected to tick lower, but headline CPI is expected to see an uptick, at least on a year-on-year basis, right? So I think to be clear, markets will be lending more credence to the core CPI. And if that number moves closer and lower towards that 4% mark, that might spark some dollar weakness and perhaps further relief for US stock markets.
Now, in China, we have industrial output, retail sales, and house sale prices out this week. Are we expecting to see some signs of recovery?
A slight recovery, yes, or at least in terms of the year-on-year comparisons compared to July's year-on-year numbers, right? But even then, I think China's economic data as a whole has a lot more to prove that a sustainable recovery is underway. Because already, as things stand, investor sentiment has soured around China. There are doubts that the official 5% GDP target can be met this year, and it appears to be slipping beyond the government's hands. So it would require not just one, but a series of stronger than expected data to bolster market confidence, and of course, barring any broad and meaningful stimulus measures from policymakers in the interim.
Right, Han Tan there in Abu Dhabi. Thank you for your insights.
Thanks for having me.
Now to other top stories from around the world. Turkey's unemployment rate has fallen to its lowest level in more than 9 years as the labour market continues to recover from February's twin earthquakes. The jobless rate hit 9.4% in July, down from 9.6% the previous month. The number of employed people rose by 280,000 during the period, reaching nearly 35 million. Egypt's annual inflation rate has hit an all-time high in August as the North African country grapples with a protracted shortage of foreign currency. Consumer prices surged 39.7% from a year ago after the previous record of 38.2% increase in July. The Egyptian pound has seen 3 devaluations since March 2022 amid shocks caused by COVID-19 and Russia's incursion of Ukraine. And Alibaba's shares fell by 4% after former CEO Daniel Zhang quit the company's cloud computing unit. The cloud intelligence group is Alibaba's second biggest source of revenue after its e-commerce division. The unit's revenue fell for the first time in the January to March period by 2% due to delayed projects. Analysts say the company is still China's largest cloud provider with a 34% market share.